All right, so our last set of exercises, we are using our properties, right? And you've probably done a lot of these things before, once again, but this kind of gives you an idea of why these properties are useful. So the first one, number 17, it says simplify each expression. So, so I have all these terms here, right? And we know, you probably heard before, combine like terms. So that's what I want to do. So even though if I was going left to right, I would add 3x plus 5y first, I can't do that because they aren't like terms. So instead, I'm going to use the associative property and add 3x plus 2x first. And then I can also add 5y with negative 3y, right? And so so when you combine like terms, a lot of times you're using the associative property. So, and you don't have to say the property, you just have to simplify the expression. But 3x plus 2x is 5x. And 5y minus 3y is positive 2y, right? So that's our final answer. All right. Number 18. So here we have this negative in front of the parentheses, right? I want to combine like terms 3g with 5g, but I can't because I have to do what's inside the parentheses first, right? But I can't do what's inside the parentheses because these are not like terms. So this is where the distributive property comes in handy. What I have to remember, first of all, is there's an invisible 1 here, right? So when I have a negative, I want to think about, okay, I'm multiplying by negative 1 times everything inside. So that'll be negative 3g minus 3h, right? And then I'll bring down the 5g and the negative 10h. So now I'm going to do what I did on number 17. I'm going to combine like terms. So using the associative property. So negative 3g plus 5g is 2g positive. And then I'm going to combine negative 3h minus 10h, and that's going to give me negative 13h. All right. Number 19. Here we have two situations where we're going to use the distributive property, right? So nothing to do inside here because they're not like terms. Same thing here. And so we're going to distribute first. 6 by 2w. 6 multiplied by 2w is 12w. 6 multiplied by v is 6v. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing with the negative 4 here. Negative 4 multiplied by 2v is negative 8v. Negative 4 multiplied by 1w is negative 4w. Then we combine like terms. 12w minus 4w is 8w. And 6v minus 8v is negative 2v. All right, and last but not least, we have number 20. Same idea as number 19, right? Almost exactly the same except for we have fractions. All right, but no big deal. We're not scared, right? So we're going to multiply 1/3 times 15d. So if you need to, you can kind of think about this off to the side. 1/3 times 15, that would be 15 over 1, right? So we can multiply 1 by 15 and get 15. 3 times 1 is 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So I'm going to get 5d, right? Then I'm going to do the same thing with 1/3 times 3, right? So 1/3 times 3. Now, what we have here is we have inverses, right? Multiplicative inverses. So when I multiply 1/3 by its reciprocal, I get 1, right? So I'm just going to make this plus 1c. And 1 times anything is itself, right? So just use the identity property of multiplication as well, okay? All right, so now let's do the second set of parentheses. So we have 1/2 times 8c, or it's negative 1/2, by the way. So negative 1/2 times 8c and negative 1/2 times negative 10d. So first of all, negative 1/2 times 8. So I'm just going to leave the c out of it for a second. So I put a 1 underneath. So negative 1 times 8 is negative 8. 2 times 1 on the bottom is 2. Negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. So I get minus 4, and then I bring down the c. I'll do the same thing with the negative 1/2 and the negative 10d. So negative 1/2 times negative 10. So put a 1 underneath. Negative times a negative is a positive. 1 times 10 on top is 10. 2 times 1 is 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So we get plus 5d. All right, and then we can combine like terms. 5d plus 5d, 10d, and c minus 4c is negative 3c. All right, so that's an example of how we can use these properties to our advantage. And we also see, whenever you throw fractions in the mix, that doesn't necessarily change the properties, but it does sometimes make things a little bit, it just takes a little bit longer, right? It takes a little more work sometimes when you throw fractions in the mix.